We are an international team working on a well-pursued archaeological site in North China. The site is named Xiamabei. Xiamabei contains the earliest evidence of ochre processing and a novel toolkit around 40,000 years ago. Our team has been working in Denisovans basin of North China, an amazing landscape with dozens of meters of stratified deposit with archaeological sites ranging from almost 2 million years ago right up through to the last 10,000 years. The Denisovans basin provided one of the best opportunities for understanding long-term evolution of cultural behavior in Eastern Asia.
我们在下马碑地点揭露一处古人类活动面，我们判断是一处古人类加工赤铁矿燃料的现场，对探索东亚地区现代人类的出现和现代行为的产生都具有重要的价值。我们也以开放的态度与国际学术界开展了光滑的合作研究。
In 2018, when Dr. Wang first time introduced the excavation of Xiamabei site to me and Professor Patricia, we were surprised by the perfect preservation of the site. The culture remains seems to be very common, but it shows great difference from what we have seen before. They may have potential research value. Soon we began the initial observation and analysis of these finds, and got a plan for multidisciplinary research. In the coming years, archaeologists, geochronologists, and geologists from China, Germany, Spain, and the UK were brought on board.
To establish when Xiamabei was occupied, two chronological methods were applied: radiocarbon dating and luminescence dating. The results show that the Mei culture layer dating to between 41,000 and 39,000 years ago. To reconstruct the environment, we examined the site stratigraphy and analyzed pollen within the sediment. The findings indicated a relative cool and semi-arid climate. The mammal bones were highly fragmentary, but analyses showed the presence of house deer and zopa, consistent with the pollen evidence and reflecting a steppe landscape with patches of forest. A key part of our research was to examine the ochre found at Xiamabei. Evidence for processing of ochre at Xiamabei consisted of 3 artifacts lying in close spatial association with a spot of red sand sediment. A variety of scientific methods was used to study the ochre and sediment.
Our work shows that the Xiamabei inhabitants brought to the site several types of high-quality iron-rich rocks, and that they abraded and crushed them to produce large quantity of red powders. Using these powders at the site in activities that we were not able to identify, probably for tanning hides, they impregnated the soil with a large red stain. So this find represents the earliest known instance of pigment use in China 40,000 years ago.
To understand how stone tools were manufactured and used at Xiamabei, we performed technological microscope use wear and residue studies.
Hi, I am Andrea Ollier. We are in the laboratory of lithic technology of the Catalan Institute of Human Paleoecology and Social Evolution. Here is where we have done the study of the lithic tools of Xiamabei site. Particularly, we have performed the residue and use wear analysis. For this study, we used a multi-technique and multi-scalar approach. That is, we used several microscopes. We used the stereo microscope, we used the reflected light optical microscope, we used also the 3D digital microscope, and finally we resorted to the scanning electron microscope, which allows higher resolution, as well as the study of the chemical composition by means of ADX.
The typological analysis result of Xiamabei linthic assemblage shows three distinguished features. Firstly, the bipolar percussion is the predominated reduction technique. The linthics are miniaturized, more than 50% measuring less than 20 millimeters. Retouched tools are very rare. We have the question, were the blade-like pieces are tools, how they used? To work out the truth, Professor Andrew Olay performed microscope use wear and residue studies. The results show that 7 of the tools showed clearly evidence of hafting, and functional and residue analysis suggested they were used for boring, hiding scraping, weakly plant material, and cutting soft animal matter. Especially, most used pieces are associated with the hearth.
Our new findings demonstrates that China is a very important place to understand genetic exchanges and cultural interactions through time. The Niwan Basin in particular is an important place to examine environmental change through time and how our species evolved there. We are very happy to have participated with our Chinese colleagues on this study, and we look forward to many collaborations in the future.